Hello, it's Dolly back with Mini Kit Monday with Becky, Daisy, Kathy, Tracy, Leslie, and myself. All right, this is the photograph that I'm going to document. My main background paper is going to be from Chamel Head in the Clouds. And then I just pulled out a bunch of scraps. So guess what? I'm using scraps on this layout. And I'm going to cut them 2 inches by 2-inch squares. All right. I'm going to confess, this layout is actually number 2, and I'm going to post it as my number 1 layout. And the reason why is because my computer crashed. Then I had to upload new software. Well, of course, then they want you the newer version of the software. And I was having all kinds of problems. So I was very frustrated. So my creativity in layout 1 was just not there. So I also had technical problems even editing that one. And I will probably post it towards the end of February if I can't get a 3rd layout done. But I was just not going to post that as my first layout, even though technically it was my first layout. So off to this layout. All right, so you see me, I'm cutting several of these papers 2 inches by 2 inches. And so I'm going to do like a grid layout. I get in these phases. I'm sure you guys do too. I get in phases where I'm just doing layouts with lots of circle layers. And then I get in phases where I want to do block layouts, which is actually not my favorite, doing the little tiny block layouts. I've created some really awesome layouts using the 2 by 2 inch squares. But anyway, let's get off back to this layout. All right, I'm showing you the Distress Oxide colors that I'm using on this layout, which is right there, the Seedless Preserve. And the first one, if you missed it, was Mermaid Lagoon. And then I have the Pink Raspberry. And you can use the Distress Oxides the same as you can use your regular Distressed Oxide. Your regular Distressed inks. And I have the little cubes. I used to have the large ones, but then when I moved, I gave my larger ones to my daughter-in-law because she was just getting into scrapbooking. And I knew right off the bat that my stuff was going to be in storage for a while, and I was really afraid that my inks were going to get ruined. So some of my mixed media products went to my daughter-in-law, and then the stuff that I knew I could take with me and store where we were temporarily living when we moved from Florida to North Carolina, then that's what I did, because I just wasn't sure how mixed media products and inks were going to do in a storage area for several months. All right, I went off on a tangent. All right, get back to the layout, Dolly. All right, so I am inking the edges. I'm kind of coordinating the colors, and I'm using just that little finger dauber, and you can purchase those at Hobby Lobbies. I think I've seen them at Michael's. My Michael's is really, really small near me. And you can also get those online. The best deal I found them online has either been scrapbook.com or Cherry on Top. All right, and those are very popular sites. So if you Google it, you will have no problems finding those 2 crafty sites. All right, so I am using my ruler there, not so that it is perfectly straight, because I can tell you right now, none of my grids are perfectly straight because A, I can never cut my papers a perfect square, and that's just a fact. I am not blaming it on any tools. I'm blaming it all on me, myself, and I. So anyway, I don't know, you can contribute it to bad eyes, but anyway, I'm just using that ruler as a little bit of a guide, and there's my completed grid. Now, there's my photograph that I'm going to place there, and in the end, you're going to see I'm going to replace 2 of those 2 by 2 squares. All right, from my kit, which had product that I received from Scrapbook Cards in Today, and I was determined I was going to use this product up, and that's what you see me getting out of that little plastic container there. And that word together came in that kit. And then fun, that foam, the word fun foam at the top there of the word together just came out of my stash. And now I am trying to incorporate this truck in this layout. And if you know me well enough, I am pretty much a sorry for the blooper. Anyway, I normally don't put random things on my layout other than butterflies, hearts, and stars. But this truck is not way out there. But I won't just put some weird type animal on my layout. So anyway, I can put a car like that, a truck. All right, and then that little card there that's about 2.5 inches long and 2 inches wide. It is from the Pink Fresh Studio, and it says, "Life begins after coffee." In this photograph, I thought that also was fitting for this photograph because my husband and I were headed off to work. My little guy was headed to school, and then my oldest daughter was headed back down to Florida. And she did have my granddaughter with me, but she was not cooperating, so she was not in this photograph right here. And then, of course, that's our dog Bojo. So anyway, you can see that I am auditioning around this layout, some of those die cuts that came in the pack. I'm putting this little strip up at the top left-hand corner, and that little other element by Fun sticker up there. It says, "Cover my eyes, shaking my head." And again, that was just kind of fitting for the moment because our granddaughter was giving us a hard time, giving my daughter a hard time. All right, I've got some enamel dots that also came in this kit, but there were not stars, those foam black hearts that came in the scrapbook card in today's sampler kit with that word together, and I was trying to incorporate that onto the layout and it was not working. Also, this twine, which is white and blue, came in there, and I thought, how can I incorporate it? So I thought I would wrap it around 2 of the squares. So I auditioned it first at the bottom, tried at the top, and it is going to go on the bottom. And I'm going to tie a little bow right there using that twine that came in the kit. I'm pretty proud of myself. I used a lot in that kit because I used the twine, I used 2 die cuts, and I used the enamel dots, and I used, you see in the upper left-hand corner by that flower in the enamel dots, I used even that little die cut that says together, and I put it up over there above where it says, "Life begins after coffee." And now you see me placing my enamel dots, and I'm placing them in what I would call a periwinkle blue, and I'm placing them in the center of the flowers that are printed on that Chamel paper. You also saw that I got that little sticker out in the lower left hand corner of the photograph with the love sign, and it also said "Love Just Us," but I covered up the word "just" when I tucked it under. It just is "Love Us." And then I put that branding strip on the bottom just to kind of ground this whole layout. And then I'm just showing you that I've got 3 areas of clusters, and this layout's complete. I'm going to bring up the layout close to you so you can see the layers and kind of see the enamel dots because they are periwinkle and they really blend into the layout on a video viewpoint. In person, they're fine, but videoing this and having the paper away from our camera, you can't see it as well. You don't see the layers as well, and sometimes you don't see the colors as well. So I thought I would bring it up closer to the camera, as you can tell. All right, be sure to follow the other ladies' links listed below to see what they've created for the month of February, and hit the bell button, or remember to come back on Monday and share our channels. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you all. Bye.